Become a bit of a tradition in Build-A-Figure waves that if the character has a large torso or a significantly portioned torso, that you usually partner them up with a figure that is a smaller one. So Gilgamesh's body, complete with flowing skirt and robe, naturally comes packaged with the tiny Sprite. Welcome to another toy review. Again, very low tech. We're just doing it on camera like this, woo, because I've got a lot on at the moment. I want to get these out and not leave them too long. But yeah, Sprite is portrayed by Leah McHugh, the illusion caster of the Eternals. This is interesting because it's a pretty unique body type for a figure. She is tiny. I mean, look, there's Faustus, much taller. We've had tiny characters in the Marvel Legends wave for a little while now, like Gwenpool, Ms. Marvel variants, Miles Morales Spider-Man characters. Like we've had tinier ladies, and a couple tiny guys, like with some Ultimate Peter Parker characters like that. But this is a pretty unique body sculpt, and I do wonder if this is just we're making Sprite and we're working on this figure build for this wave and that's it, or whether Hasbro will reincorporate this figure type into stuff in the future. Who knows? It could be exciting. Could be exciting. We've got a range of different characters, especially now we're getting more legacy heroes who are teenagers. So, Sprite is a soft drink. Now hang on, let's get it to focus. Sprite has the ability to cast lifelike illusions and is an Eternal much stronger and cleverer than she appears. And she is the final one we need in our wave to build Gilgamesh. Let's get Sprite open and absorb the figure. Holy heckington, this is a really well-made figure! Considering this is like a sculpt that is not using very much from anything else. It's all original. They could have half-arsed this. They haven't. Sprite's articulation is what you'd expect. Swivel in the ankle, going backwards and forwards and pivoting. She's got a double knee joint. She swivels at the thigh and moves at the crotch. No waist articulation, but there is a rib crunch and flex. Singular movement at the top of the shoulder, outwards and around. Single elbow joint, because we're not at the double elbow joints for female characters yet when this figure came out. Articulation in the wrist. No lower neck, which is good because it won't move around, and the head is on the double ball jointed peg. I want to crack on immediately with the detail. Por exemple, look at Sprite's calves. Look at the marbly texture in the paint, and in particular, look at the sculpted runes along the outside of the darker aqua parts of her costume. That is some insane level of detail. You would not pick that up unless you were really close to the toy. Like, again, on the wrist, same thing. That is phenomenal. Colour doesn't quite carry over into the chest part of the costume quite the way it does in the movie. Like, again, so if you can sort of see it there on the torso, the figure on the box. It's like swirls, and then a bigger silver swirl with a small, turquoisey swirl there at the bottom. You've got the two swirls on the chest, and then it kind of gives up here. But again, it's a very small piece, so I don't mind some shortcutting. And yet at the same time, they've demonstrated some absolute not shortcutting attention to detail. Sprite is pretty much the only one of these Eternals figures so far whose movement for her lower half is completely unencumbered, because that is a thin piece there. The skirt/cape rests around the back, so she can jump, leap, whatever, like run, dash, pounce, like Spider-Man levels of articulation on the legs here. This is a great detail that I didn't realise, actually, until sort of like getting ready to press record. There's a separate cape piece on the back of Sprite, attached to the shoulders, hooked there, that when you look at it, it just sort of forms, at a glance, one cape. That's incredible. And last but certainly not least, is her likeness. Leah McHugh's likeness is recreated brilliantly. Like, absolutely flawlessly. The hair sculpt, the freckles on the cheeks, the eyes are painted fantastically. Like, wow. That is so good. The little different textures in their hair to highlight her red hair. Like, wow. I am beyond impressed with how they've pulled off, you know, their representation of Sprite as a figure. Very, very, very cool. Sprite's only accessories are a optional pair of balled up hands, fists, but you're more likely to use their spellcasty hands. One of the downsides, obviously, of this one is that you can't really have accessories that show off her illusion making, so she's just as is, which is one of the reasons why I think this and a couple of other figures in this wave are often on reduction. Like, you know, if you want Ajax or Athena, who are the rarer ones, like the Walmart and Walgreens exclusives, what have you, Target exclusives, they're hard to find for anything less than 40 quid here in the UK at this point. Cersei, based on where you're looking, can be quite high in price. Icarus could be quite high in price, and then the rest fluctuate. Sprite is one who I see quite often, anywhere between $9.99 and $18.99 instead of the $23.99 that they've all gone up to lately here in the UK, as an average price for Marvel Legends. So I can understand people not leaping at this one if it was full price, because obviously without many accessories it's not like, you know, it's a significant display piece. But when you've got the rest of the Eternals, you absolutely want Sprite, even if just for the functional thing of getting a Gilgamesh torso. There's Gilgamesh's torso, which on its own looks kind of weird. It's very strange. Again, nice detail. We'll get into that next time. I am really impressed with this figure. Really impressed with this figure. Gonna have to, I think, put her near Cersei on the display, because obviously they spend a lot of the first two acts of the movie together. Or maybe I'll put her near Icarus, because, spoiler alert, sides with the villain. What about you guys? Do you like the Sprite figure? Are you impressed with this? I'm really impressed with this one. I am delighted to have picked her up, and I cannot wait to put Gilgamesh together and do him justice. And then, of course, when we look at Gilgamesh, we'll look at the whole Eternals wave, including the side figures, the three bonus figures of Athena, Ajax, and Crow. What about you? Did you like this? Let me know in the comments down below. Give us a thumbs up. If you want to help me out, you can go to the wishlist or Amazon wishlist, or PayPal link in the description to fund future toy reviews. If there's anything you want to pick up, make sure to leave your details so I can give you a shout out. No obligation, obviously. You can help me out just by commenting and thumbsing up the video. I will catch you very, very soon for more toy reviews.